Today I am starting with chapter number 19. The district administration re-establishes law and order and provides relief to riot victims. The narrative shifts back to the city again. On the fourth day of writing, the situation in the city and the surrounding area was brought under control. An 18-hour curfew was imposed, which was later relaxed to 12 hours. Army pickets were set up and police patrolling arranged. The deputy commissioner's reputation as being firm was established on the basis of his having shot a young man who did not heed his warnings. Refugee camps were set up and arrangements made for treatment of the wounded and the disposal of the dead. The Congress too set up a relief office. The DC came to enjoy the reputation of being sympathetic and capable. He took personal interest and went to the house of the health officer and instructed him to go to Sayyidpur and take steps to prevent the spread of diseases. Later, he gave a resume of government efforts to provide relief to a gathering of prominent citizens. As always, there were some people who were critical of the government. Manohar Lal was harsh on both the Congress and the government. Bakshiji, though unhappy with Manohar Lal for being overcritical, had also been feeling uneasy. He felt that the government first incited riots and then controlled them. It was they who had the last word. At home, Lisa, feeling extremely bored and unhappy in her husband's absence, became dead drunk with beer. When Richard came around 8, he found her asleep on her sofa. When he lifted her to take her to the bedroom, he realized that she had wet the sofa on which she had been sitting. She had now woken up and was somewhat sober. He told her that the grain market had gone up in flames and that 103 villages had been razed to the ground. So many villages burnt down, and Richard and you still have work to do. Okay, this made Richard wonder if she was being ironical. His relationship with Lisa were becoming more and more estranged. The thought of snapping the marital tie also came to him, but he was considered a sagacious and efficient officer, and for the sake of his career, it was imperative that he keep Lisa by his side. So he invited her to accompany him on his tour of Sayyidpur, where women had jumped into a well. From there, they could go to Taxila. The whole area was lovely, he added. He had heard a lark and seen many new birds there. This shocked Lisa, who wondered how he could see new birds and hear a lark in such places. In response, Richard said that as an administrator, he had to be emotionally uninvolved, whatever be the scale of the tragedy. Before leaving for his office, he asked her to lend a helping hand in collecting clothes and other things for refugees. Now, the scene at the Relief Committee office. The narrative here gives a glimpse of the different hues that constitute the variegated scene witnessed at the Relief Committee office. One of the functionaries at the office was the statistics Babu, whose task it was to collect figures of those who had died, of those who were wounded, and the losses suffered. But the refugees who came to him tried to pour out their hurt to him. Each had a different story to tell. Harnam Singh, the tea shop owner of Dogilahi Baksh, wanted his gun to be recovered from the person who had given shelter to him at Adhir Adhiro. Another Sikh hoped that his wife Sukhwant and the son Gurmeet might not have jumped into the well and could be traced somewhere. A third, in his desperation, even tried to offer bribe to the statistic Babu to help him recover the gold chain and bracelet that she was wearing when she jumped. The statistics collected showed that the number of Hindu and Sikhs killed was more or less equal to the number of Muslims killed. The material loss suffered by the former was of course higher. Comrade Devdutt wanted another category to be included. How many of those killed were well to do persons and how many poor? At another place, there was a heated argument among Congress activists about what to do in case of physical attack. Should one offer one's neck to be chopped off? Bakshiji replied to Kashmiri Lal, who had first raised the issue. Jarnail did not suffer from any such mental conflict. Jarnail was eccentric, unlettered, crazy, but he was never worried about what he should do in the event of his being attacked. Later, listen, you yourself should not indulge in violence. That is number one. You should persuade the fellow to desist from using violence. That is number two. And if he doesn't listen, fight him tooth and nail. That is number three. This reply, however, did not end the discussion. Another group of refugees were laughing over something. In the midst of them, on the ground, lay an elderly Sikh who had clasped his hands tightly between his thighs and who moved from side to side. He refused to go to his village for fear of being circumcised. This response made everyone laugh loudly. At another place sat a Brahmin Pandit and his wife. At first, they had wanted the Babu to help them in recovering their abducted daughter, but later they apparently realized that she must have lost her caste. They must have already put the forbidden thing in her mouth, and also that they were too poor to feed her. So they gave up the idea of a recovery. We also shown how easily Prakasho, the abducted daughter, comes to accept her new destiny and makes peace with her abductor, Allah Rakha, the Tonga driver. Okay, thank you so much. This is the end of the chapter number 20. Thank you.